Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to this YouTube channel. It's your guy Igor here. Today's video, it's been requested by many of you. I get this question all the time. Can I come to Canada as a visitor and search for a job here? Can I get my visitor visa transferred into a working visa, into a work permit, and how can I do that? So that's the video to answer that question, how you can do that. Let's start off, guys, that it's not going to be an easy process, especially due to pandemic. Once it's over, it's going to be way easier. Some people say it's almost impossible to get a job like that, but I say that there's lots of stories that I heard of people who actually managed to pull that off, and if you're really determined, I believe you can do that as well. So guys, how do you do that? First, you're coming to this country as a visitor. Once you're visiting here, you're on your tourist visa, basically, you have to apply for that. So you're not allowed to work under that visa. But what you are still allowed is to search for jobs, and you're going to need a job offer in order for you to get your working visa. So you're going to have to apply for labor market impact assessment. And I'm not going to be covering that entire thing in this video, but basically it is when the employer is asking the government for permission to bring you into Canada, even if you're already here, allow you to get a working visa and start working. And it's also going to give you a ton of points for express entry and almost guarantee you getting your permanent residency once you get it. So it really significantly increases your chances of your permanent residency, and if you're planning to come here to work, you would rather be on a permanent residency then. So guys, how do you get your working visa? Well, first of all, you come here, you start applying for jobs, you start searching around, but you need to get your resume done, and for that you are going to have to find out which NOC category you are going to be qualified under. So you need to find out which NOC category is going to be right for you, what's your past experience and what bracket you want to hit. Sometimes your past experience can be slightly different and fall into couple of different categories, and you need to specify for yourself what's your aim and which kind of Canadian work experience you want to get to your destination, to immigrate to this country. So basically, guys, you would have to craft your resume in such a way to get the desired job. So you would have to, even if it means changing the profession, even if it means that you are trying to get something that you had experience in your home country, but that's kind of a little bit slightly different. So by doing the research on the job market, you would see responsibilities, you would see things that would give you those strengths, those points to get that job offer. So basically, guys, what you have to do is emphasize on your activities from your past experience that are relevant to that job offer, so you would get it from the employer to stand out from the competition. I would also, guys, suggest, if you want to do it yourself, you can do it yourself. But if you're interested, my wife Nitu, she's actually pretty good in helping out people increase their job opportunities here, to get a higher paying job, to craft a resume. So she's really good in that, and if you're interested in that, you can go down in the website and description of this video, check that out, because right now we have promotional discounts and we can craft you a resume. So she's going to do that for you, and I'm going to be assistant, of course, but she's genius in what she does, and you'll get some really good results after that. But of course, I cannot guarantee you a job offer from a certain employer, because it's out of our control. That's according to the employer. But what we can guarantee is that you're going to have higher chances of getting it, of course. Guys, so after you get your job offer, next thing you're going to have to do is, of course, apply for your LMIA. So it's going to be done by your employer. Employer is going to have to pay $1,000 fee for you, submit the paperwork to the documents to the government, to the Economical Development Canada, and they're going to compare to the unemployment rate, how much money. There is a huge process. It's a separate video, and I'm not going to be covering it in this video, otherwise it's going to be 15 minutes long. So basically, a package of documents submitted by the employer to the government gives the approval, and that's where you can apply for your work permit, a working visa. And once you get your working visa, you have to submit your application fees. Of course, it's a new application process. It's important that You know, when you're applying for your visitor visa, working visa, when you're applying for permanent residency, just remember this: the entire record of your applications here in Canada, all the experience, all the stuff that you declare, it has to match. So what I'm saying is, guys, put really accurate information about your experience, where you worked, what your relatives are, and all the application processes. It stays on your file. So make sure you're really honest on what you're putting into your application, and you're not putting any wrong information, because if there is discrepancies, there will be problems for you getting your permanent residency in the future. And I always suggest you guys getting an immigration consultant, and I will also leave for that a link in the description of this video if you're interested. They are amazing guys. They are located in Toronto, and they would help you. They have lawyers, and a big company. They help many people with their applications. So check them out in the description of this video, guys. But overall, of course, you're going to have to get your working visa. So most important part, guys, is that once you're here, you have to have a good resume. You have to start networking, visiting different events. Utilize that 6 months that you're allowed to be in Canada to maximize your job search. Otherwise, you would literally just spend a lot of money to come here to get the application. The rent is really expensive, food and everything is really costly here, guys. So make sure you don't just waste your money and your time here, and you concentrate your efforts on getting your job, to get your labor market impact assessment, to get a job offer, labor market impact assessment, so you can apply for your working visa, and don't even waste a minute, guys. And I'll tell you from my experience. Let me give you some examples how you can enhance your resume. So basically, I know lots of you guys are searching for example, if you are a truck driver. I worked in the trucking industry, I worked in logistics a lot. So you have to specify what kind of trucks you drove, because if you, especially, like, I used to work also in the garbage industry too, so I worked everywhere. I worked in propane, I worked in the garbage industry, I worked in transportation deliveries for different companies. Specify which trucks you drove. What are your skills? Is it a flat deck? Is it a long haul truck? Be very specific in what you can get. And it's not only related to the jobs that you're searching as a truck driver, but also in any sphere. In IT, specify which languages you know for the computers, for programming, what you specialized on. Be really, check out the job application and be really specialized in certain things that they're searching for. So if you know something and there's the requirement that they're searching for, you put all of that information that matches that job search. I'm not saying to lie, but I'm saying that you have to match their criteria. Human resource here in Canada, I don't want to be really rude, but lots of them are really narrow-minded. And if you don't put it on paper, they're not going to guess it for you. And if it's not on paper, you're not going to get an interview. And if you don't get an interview, you don't get a chance to speak up for yourself. So make sure it's an excellent resume with no errors, with no picture, with no personal information, according to the Western standard. Apply, get a job, get LMIA, submit your application, get your working visa. So you might have to leave in the country, you might have to go to the US border and come back to finish your immigration, or you can just book an appointment with an immigration officer in your city. Alright guys, so let me know in the comments down below which kind of videos you like. Let me know the comments that you have and questions for me. I'll be answering for the first 1 hour after I publish this video, and I'll try to keep up later on too. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.